Some StarCraft, guys. This is a good one. I think this is a very enjoyable series. Pretty good match, as we have in the top left corner. The blue Protoss player is ShoWTimE. Taking on in the bottom right, the red Terran player, GuMiho. Supreme Wizardry, thank you so much for subbing with Prime. Oh my god, now do we need to do like a live? I'll use LECam. Hang on. There we go, guys. We've just hit the 97 point of the road. Good job. Next up, 96. Good job. We're doing it, guys. We're on a journey together. We're on a journey together. It's beautiful. Alright, some TVP action as we get this underway. And let's see what happens as we have our probe scouting to start off with. Try and see what's going on. Is this live? Yes, this is live. Hello. Probe. Just going to be wandering around SCV, obviously keeping track of that for just a couple of moments to start out with. SCV coming over, nibbling that probe a little bit, pylon will go down. Next is coming up. I'm just going to be seeing the Ripper on the way through as well at the moment. Right on the way out, we do have the Reaper is going to go poking across the map, guys. Sorry, just as usual. You guessed it, admin. I was adminning things. I was just going to be seeing our Reaper then pulling back over to the watchtower. And just trying to have a little bit of a peek to see what we can do there. So taking the watchtower, going to pull back away down the right-hand side. Just to see a little bit of what is going on. Ready to hop up in toward the main base in the next couple of moments. And we do have our Adept coming through. Bets? Okay, hang on. Oh, you guys really work me hard. I can't keep up. Cruel Exar, thank you so much for the 2-month resub. Welcome back. Here I go. Oh my god. I'm gonna have to... I even lost track of where on the road we go. I'll have to update the road after this game, guys. Let's see how this game goes, though, because I actually do think it's a very, very exciting series. Really excited about it. Really think it's gonna be a lot of fun. So, intrigued to see what's going to come out of this over the next little while, as we do have a couple of depths going to go shading around here. The Reaper going to get pushed back. It is an Oracle already from ShoWTimE. He's already got one on the map. I'll follow this across as the first Cyclone is not far from popping out as well. That Cyclone should provide pretty decent coverage against the Oracle. Obviously, could be out of position. Right now it is... Where is the Cyclone? Oh, yeah, it's kind of out of position. So Oracle going to find one SCV, sees the Marines, that's enough to turn it around. Oh, now the Cyclone is not out of position, it's in the perfect position. Oracle is... Oh my god, he ran out of space to go further right, and it goes down. First Oracle killed, and that's a shame. Gets one SCV, and that's about it. As we do see the other Oracle pulling back and just going to play defense. 2 Oracles into a Twilight can be a little bit shaky and a little bit dangerous. Especially when you lose that first one as well, so kind of watching out for the trouble that might amass from there. The Oracle comes back around. GuMiho's going to knock down some rocks so he can push across the map quickly and easy on towards that third base, so he's going to set up for that. And straight over here, just going to be seeing those rocks taking a lot of damage, and we do have extra Marines of GuMiho coming up the left-hand side. Well, Stimpack, Combat Shield, all of that's on the way. And we do have the Nexus, the Robo Facility, the Charge, everything continue to produce As our army moves up the left. Uh-oh, ShoWTimE is going to start working on these rocks, and I don't think he realizes that those other rocks have gone down, so now these units get onto the third base, and ShoWTimE is in the middle of the map, and this is going to get a little bit complicated. This third base, I think, is just going to get cancelled. I don't think there's a way to protect it. You're so far away from charge. GuMiho wasting no time at all getting set up to deal with this base, and this Nexus is getting knocked down for the moment. Next will fall. We will see a force field onto the natural. There's 2 tank siege up here. Man, we don't even have batteries ready. ShoWTimE is just not ready for this push. Robo facility depowered. Charge is going to finish soon. So going to be seeing our Marines come through. A couple of Zealots continue forward, and just going to be seeing the probes will come through with this. The Zealots come in, a couple tanks firing, and the Marines will come through, and that's going to be enough for GuMiho to take the GGs. Prime for the 10-month resub. Welcome back. Basilisk are going to drop 10 more subs. Yeah, I'm going to have to not actually update this every time. I feel like I'm going to go crazy. In the bottom left corner of the map, ShoWTimE is down a map in this best of 3, while in the top right, GuMiho is up 1 in the series. Guys, I'm just going to put GuMiho's point of view on while I read these subs out. Basilisk, 10 gifted subs to Mobile Water, the Biboui, Catalay, Crazy and Who, Lazy Sapien, Minds Over Matter, Walter 72, Pizza, Rexam 3, and also to Zetokdo. Thank you again for the generosity. And Forecast, thank you so much for the gifted sub to Aston83 as well. Thank you so much for the generosity, guys. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you. You guys rock. You guys are awesome. And Parsycore on the 10-month resub on the Prime. Guys, we're 1 person away from starting a hype train, which includes all the gifted subs, so you may as well start it because it'll be instantly level 2, and then it means it's not a scam train, it's a real hype train. Everyone knows the hype train is real once it gets to level 2, right? Right, guys? Right? Okay, I'm just in sellout mode now. Look, you know what it is? I've not done an 8-hour stream in a long time. And my brain's just like, hey, if we're doing a long stream, we just sell out, right? That's what it becomes. We just start, we just start saying subscriptions until they give us the subscriptions. And my brain, I'm like, not sure that's how it works, brain. My brain's like, that's definitely what we used to do back when we streamed 8 hours all the time. I'm like, not sure. Thanks for the love and generosity, guys. I really do appreciate it, as obviously we get going in this game number 2. And yeah, just the probe, obviously having another scout around. There's going to be a depot at the front, by the way, just to kind of make this intriguing. Factory 2, so not a full wall off without the reactor, but the factory before expansion and ShoWTimE gets a confirmation of that, so he does get to know that that's happening. Interesting not to kind of wall the probe out, I guess, or wall it in even, so yeah. Very interesting. Yo. Pikachu Namu, thank you so much for the 300 bits. I really appreciate it. Thank you for being awesome. Thanks so much for supporting the stream today. I really appreciate it. You rock. You're the best Pikachu I've ever seen in this chat. Thank you. Alright, GuMiho had a great start last game. Killed the initial Oracle, pushes across. ShoWTimE had no idea where GuMiho was at. And obviously ended up in a whole bunch of trouble very quickly, so let's see what happens. Jar of Peanuts, thank you so much for the Prime sub as well. And Ananthrax gonna come in with the 5 gifted subs. Going out to Thandorus, True Hegelian, Shernam, Rideout88, and SS Vinny. Thank you so much as well. Is that a level 3 hype train, by the way? Holy bejeebus, guys. You guys are actually gonna, like, break the hype train. I don't think the hype train knows how to get to level 3. Insane. Thank you so much for the generosity, guys. I really appreciate it. You guys rock. As you have our probe coming back up the right-hand side. If you donate me a sub, what do you have to say Dota 2 audio problems out loud? Oh, I just said out loud anyways. Haha, scammed myself out of a sub there, haven't I? 200 IQ. Yeah, see, I'm not just about selling out. I'll say people's names without them paying money. Thanks for all you do. Oh, thank you for the support, guys. Again, obviously, as always, you guys know you guys know what the drill is. I can't do it without you guys. You guys enjoy it. I love being here. Appreciate your support, and glad you guys are having a good day. Obviously, full of StarCraft today. I do apologize. Obviously, these games are going to be a bit badly observed and probably be a bit crazy on the casting, guys. But it's also just because I'm a little bit distracted still with admin and stuff, and it's just been a long day already. I'm trying to take a little bit of drain ShoWTimE just a little before we get into like the deeper, more meaningful stages of the tournament, you know. Because the deeper, I mean, obviously GuMiho ShoWTimE is a great match, but the deeper we go, the more exciting these games get and the more interesting it becomes to talk about. As, hey, Captain Hair, thank you so much for the 5 gifted subs to Raz, Honito Mato, Firefly Grave, Sakumo213, and Mog780. Thank you, Captain Hair, for the generosity. Apparently, we're about to beat our last record. Twitch, are you just trying to scam people? As Oracles are going to dive the Cyclone. That's a kill. Oh, that's big. Can the Oracles now just get a whole bunch of workers? Yes, they should be able to. Oracles coming in. Oh, we lose one of them to the Marines. A little expensive for ShoWTimE, who's got a couple of depths in the low ground. That will get one more Marine as well. And that's just going to get cleaned out, picked off, and that will be that as our Adepts pull back to the bottom side of the map. It's just peeling away there. The Oracle coming across the other side. And, yeah. Banshee, Cyclone all coming out. This Banshee popping, Cyclone popping. Obviously, that's a good aggressive army from GuMiho, who is going to march across and see what he can do. This time, ShoWTimE already has a battery up, and he should have an Immortal to at least help with the first wave of this attack. You're running 2 tournaments today? Well, this one isn't my tournament, although I'm adminning it for them. But this is a tournament by Basilisk. But usually every Friday night, Basilisk do the Basilisk Big Brain Bouts, which is on WardiTV stream. This week, because the 25th anniversary of StarCraft 2, they're running a special Open Cup for $2,500. Roddy asked me to basically admin the tournament and cast it at the same time. Obviously, he's casting it as well because there's just loads of matches because it's an Open Cup this time. So, not really me running 2 tournaments in a day, but I am casting 2, I guess. Hashtag passion. Something like that. I know, it's wild. The Marines and tanks just pull back. Like I say, there's just so much more here from ShoWTimE defensively this time compared to the last game. Very unlikely to see that position really get broken down, though. So we'll just have a few Adepts coming over. Our Nexus setting up. And Twilight Council, Robobay all on the way through. So far, so good. Come on, chat, we need the hype train. At 8 hours, I'm allowed to go full sellout mode with no regrets. Am I really? If that's the case, I should just stream to 8 hours every day. You mean if I just stream 2 more hours every day, I can just sell out constantly? Holy crap. I'm gonna be rich. Alright guys, so just gonna see a Adept Marine coming forward. Coming through, trying to see a little bit of what's going on. I just need to try and find someone in the lower bracket. Give me a moment. Okay. Perfect. Alright, just someone just told me they were forfeit and I just had to check where they were in the lower bracket to kind of keep track of things a little bit. Adept hanging now, a couple of other Adepts coming up the left-hand side. We'll see a few of those Adepts just hanging out, and ShoWTimE not going to do too much with them, just setting up to potentially, obviously, dive into a mineral line at some point or so. Just seeing the orbital command ready to move over. As a few SCVs will start long distance mining, so just setting up for that. Orbital lands down. Did the tank just attack the SCV, or was there something there to splash? Sorry, I didn't quite notice that. That was just wild. No. Huh. Get Ellie to co-cast. Look, guys, if I have to get Ellie to co-cast, it's gonna cost a lot more subs than what you've got. I'm sorry. She's a picky puppy, and I'd also have to pay for the treats to entice her over here in the first place. Yo, Focalts, thank you so much for the gift of sub to Lost My Account. I really appreciate it. And just keeping on going with the generosity. Thank you, guys. Making some progress on the stream count. The road to 1K subs is being driven along. I told you guys I was feeling it. Alright, +1 attack, +1 not combat shields, that's armor. I don't know why we call that combat shields, but yeah, sure. +1 armor and blink. ShoWTimE coming forwards, a few Phoenix, but not really enough to really go poking forward in a serious major way. Everything of ShoWTimE pulling back over the left-hand side. We do have the Ghost Academy finishing up shortly from GuMiho as well. The Armory is about halfway done. The Marauder's about to finish. Dark Shrine still building from ShoWTimE on the low ground. I'm just going to be seeing +2 attack, +1 armor. All of that building up at the moment as our Nexus Robo Facility Extra Gateway is producing. Personal cloaking on the Ghosts. Good upgrade to have. Did you know that invisible ghosts are usually 5 times harder to see than a regular ghost? After we surveyed 154 Protoss players, and they did indeed pretty much all confirm that cloaked ghosts were more difficult to see. As our bio comes across and backs up a couple of the Adepts, just stopping that potential shade-in counter-attack onto this mineral line. That's pretty well defended, to be fair. I mean, I guess you can still shade behind it to get a little bit done, but not too crazy. Obviously, 10, 11 minutes in, and neither player's going to kind of roll over and die like we kind of had last game, so we actually are going to get what I kind of felt like we should get out of a GuMiho ShoWTimE series. GuMiho plays some solid StarCraft 2 lately. He plays some very entertaining games. And this is going to be him kind of coming through with this kind of longer game now against ShoWTimE. I'm a big fan. Very exciting. As we do see +2 armor coming up on the Forge. We see the Gravitic Drive coming up as well. And as soon as we have +2 attack, Blink, and Shadow Stride all coming in. Have ShoWTimE just open up some rocks. There's a little bio group just running around the left-hand side, trying to see what we can get up to. Closeouts come in, just going to be seeing the army of ShoWTimE coming back out into the center. We do have a couple of SCVs going down just in some of these mineral lines, so a little bit of attacking being done here and there. We're just coming up to the top. We do see our Bioforce obviously just coming around, just going to peel away. We do see the Phoenix just making their way over to the upper right as well. So away they go as we have our Colossi firing up. A couple of Disruptor shots going to go and launch and land on a tank. It's just going to charge through, just going to get a few shots off on these depots, and ShoWTimE really going to go for this. I mean, he's losing a lot of supply quickly, and a Matrix on one of the Disruptors. Anti-armor missile hits everything. This is really bad for ShoWTimE. He's going to get chased down. You can see that obviously GuMiho wasted no time jumping on that army, recognizing what's going on there right away. So really good job of that. Just jumping straight in. I mean, ShoWTimE had to recall. The anti-armor missile made it a definite. Oh god. Okay, let's try talk. The anti-armor missile made it a definite decision that recall was pretty much the go-to. There wasn't really an alternative. Obviously, there's that kind of moment where it's like, well, can you just run and fight? But probably not. This is one of those scenarios where I think ShoWTimE is probably going to run. And if he was running, he'd probably take damage anyways. I think no matter what, the recall necessary there. As we do see ShoWTimE with his cluster of DTs. He loves this stage of the game. And he blinks forward. He gets on top of this bio, and a scan comes in, but a bit too late. Doesn't really have the damage output. Now we EMP to try and work through this group of Dark Templar as they continue back down to the south. There are a few cannons up on the high ground. And we do see everything else from ShoWTimE around the top as well, ready to push on into this base on the left-hand side. The rest of the army from GuMiho pulling back up the right. The rest of the forces joining up there too. So all of that coming in right now. Nuke building on the Ghost Academy. Something extra for GuMiho to put to work at some point as Disruptors will find a siege tank. But I'm loving this position. He's right back to where he just recalled away from moments ago, it feels like. So attacking in, getting some damage done. And what's kind of going to happen here? I mean, we've got an army of kind of ShoWTimE looping around from the upper left. Bio pulling back, more Bio from the right-hand side wanting to come in as well. Bang, bang on the disruptor shots. We see the missile turret already taking some hits. We do have our tank getting a shot as well, and just going to be seeing all those DTs all being picked away at. Now Bio Force of GuMiho just helping again to push back the DTs and the Zealots. 5 more ghosts coming in. The missile turrets are building as well. Storks come over. The couple of Zealots will come through, and a few SCVs already being picked off. It's a lot of SCVs actually going down as we have to lift off and really back away from this location. On the south side, we are going to see this that thing, the stasis ward going off. ShoWTimE is still blinking DTs in to defend against these Bio forces. Zealot's going to charge in at the same time. He doesn't really have enough stuff. Obviously, he's still pushing through over here. But this is just Zealots and DTs. We're going to nuke defensively. GuMiho trying to hold off this army of ShoWTimE, who will just recall losing this base. Recalls over to this forward location. The Bio Force of GuMiho decides to back it up. 13 SCV. He just nuked his own SCVs. No! No! The friendly fire nuke! He forgot to pull the SCVs back. No! Oh, no. They were just AFK there from pulling off the base, and he just nuked them right. Guys, 15:30. We're going to go back to 15:30 and watch the nuke hit the SCVs. Sorry, guys. I should have seen that coming. I kind of did see it coming, but I forgot to go back with everything else happening. Army of GuMiho comes around down to the south and is going to push into the bottom side, as we do have our army chasing away to the left. The DTs are going to go evacuate, and the few Zealots are being chased down, and this army is just going to jump onto this Nexus. So that Nexus goes down as well. It's a good little cancel. And we just see ShoWTimE pulling back towards everything else too here. Both players still maxed out, 16.5 minutes deep here on Ancient Sister. Now Marines stimming up, a few ghosts mixed in. Honestly, oh no, the disruptors are all found in the bottom corner. ShoWTimE losing out big time there. That's obviously extremely expensive set of losses. That is a lot going down as we start to work our way through this Nexus. Extra Zealots warping in, 2 more disruptors. At the same time, we're pushing over here. The DTs acting as Zealots being the front line, but ShoWTimE only really has tech units left. ShoWTimE's going to lose this force, and this Bio is going to win out against the Colossi over here. Are we actually still winning out as well as GuMiho? Until the Zealots got there, yeah, we probably were. Zealots just so tanky. They turned this around, but ShoWTimE lost all of his tech. The disruptors moments ago, now all the Colossi went down. And as GuMiho reinforces, this becomes quite one-sided, I think, because there's no tech really here from ShoWTimE. He's got these 2 disruptors that are fresh off the robo production. That's the only splash damage he has at the moment. Observer going down. The first disruptor starts to try zoning ASAP. Is now just going to turn back into this. The next disruptor, oh my god, he didn't get the target fire in time. And ShoWTimE will get a chance with a bit of the Bio already blown up to try and work through this. The Bio stimming up again. A lot of the Zealots going down. Our Stalker's still firing up a storm as the Medivacs healing up what they can, keeping Bio alive. Another disruptor shot fires through. The Bio has to dodge on out of there, staying as out of trouble as possible, trying to just stay clear of the danger zone. GuMiho ends up backing it up and pulling away here now. More DTs coming in. Both players actually dropped down to like 120 supply. That DT is going to walk straight into the brand new turret. Do we have a scan? We don't. He didn't even need the units. He actually just had to do a Widow Mine that would have got the kill if he dropped the scan down. There's like 1 Marine. He's still hunting the DT. I think he's actually just going to scout, but we can believe that that 1 Marine wants to be the hero. He's going to hunt the DT down to the ends of this earth, guys. Okay? Believe. Believe. Bio pulling back over to the left, just going to be seeing the Stalkers coming through. Just going to take some of those Stalkers down. DTs straight onto this orbital. Good news about an orbital is it can lift up. As DTs are just going to blink onto the army, and actually with the Stalkers as well, he's going to get a chase down. GuMiho losing a lot, even loading into Medivac. ShoWTimE still losing units too. He doesn't have a great army at the moment. Well, Disruptors coming through, the Stalkers, probes, all crossing pathways here. Disruptors will press forward. DTs will blink in again, just trying to be that front line. Start putting some damage out. Kaboom for the Ghost and a Marauder. They ragdoll across the rest of the army as now we kill off one of the Disruptors. They're going to kill off multiple Disruptors, but the DTs get a chance to come in again. The Stalkers blink back to defend on the other side. GuMiho had a flank on this attack of ShoWTimE. Fire turning back around, just going to be seeing more Disruptor shots firing through, trying to clear this up. The Medivac's going to have to retreat away. One Medivac already being picked up. Now we're going to blink through to try and stop any further units getting out, and we're actually going to have all of these units trapped unless all the Stalkers die. Then we have the retreat because he targeted down the Stalkers. Man, this game is ridiculous. GuMiho's down on supplies. ShoWTimE just taking fight after fight. That makes almost no sense at all. ShoWTimE with 70 workers is why he's able to do this. And suddenly 3 Colossi just show up. Where have they been? Well, they're going to absolutely disrupt this fight. Oh god, that's not even going to be fair. Pushing forward. Well, yeah, there's not much anti-air for ShoWTimE, but he can absolutely just work his way forwards and knock this base along. Stop that from mining for a little while. That's 100% a decent approach here. As those few Stalkers are going to go knocking at the orbital command, so we're going to try and knock through this. Our Colossi activate, and we're just going to see our Zealots and our DTs all pushing forwards. And again, this army of GuMiho is melting away. The DTs are getting the work done. I gotta say, ShoWTimE kind of incredible with the army he's been fighting with, that he made it last so long. But now, yeah, just for good measure, GuMiho's gonna push back and kill everything. Yeah, because that makes sense, doesn't it? Yeah, God forbid someone win a fight and then actually win, you know, continue to win afterwards. Oh, GuMiho's going to GG because ShoWTimE's DT show up in the bottom right. I think GuMiho knows he doesn't have the economy to stay in it anymore anyway. But, yeah, this game really started making less and less sense the further on it went, didn't it? Oh, my freaking goodness. Stand corner, our Blue Protoss player is going to be ShoWTimE leveling this one out as he takes on GuMiho, the Red Terran, in the bottom right corner of the map. Guys, are enjoying the stream? Again, hit the follow button. See when we go live in the future with way more StarCraft. We are still StarCrafting it up for the next few days, pretty much non-stop for a few more days. The next couple of weeks, we're just busy. There's obviously DreamHack ESL qualifiers coming up, and WardiTV Korean Royale get days wrapping up. It's just going to be a lot of fun, so make sure you come and see when we're live and watch some StarCraft. Generally, that's what we all like doing, watching StarCraft, so make it easier for yourselves to watch more StarCraft. TLDR. Hell yeah. Alright, ShoWTimE and GuMiho as a probe makes its way down to the bottom side of the map, exploring along. To begin with, a couple of refineries coming up, the barracks is coming in. Get this first scout of the game to try and see just a little bit of what's happening here in these early few moments. I'd look at the Wikipedia page for this tournament, by the way, again. The bracket is so difficult to understand without looking on the Wikipedia. So, upper bracket round of 8, Serral will play the winner of this series, and then the winner of that plays either MaxPax, Bjorn, or Geralt. MaxPax waiting for Bjorn or Geralt in his match. Jeez. Like, the bracket is just freaking stacked, guys. Raynor and Clem are on the same side of the bracket on the bottom half as well. Like, it's actually ridiculous. It's actually ridiculous. Yeah, and we're slowly making progress on the lower bracket too. Shout out to the Wikipedia guys who are somehow, some way keeping this updated. Reaper comes in, probe is going to go down as the Reaper escapes out up to the top side. Reaper hops in, and Pylon taking some damage. Just going to see the Hellion on the way out. The Reaper as well, also coming through here. As we are going to have our Stargate already producing from ShoWTimE. And, well, it's going to be a second Reaper, so GuMiho really applying the pressure with a third Reaper building. 3 Reaper, probably 2 Hellion combo. It's actually just going to be 1 Hellion, but 3 Reaper and a Hellion to try and, put on some pressure in these early stages. See what's going to happen. Now, Mr. Toad86, thank you so much for the 31-month resub on the Prime. As we move on through. One Reaper already going down, a couple of Adepts. Banshee down the Hellion, which has not really done much. We killed 1 probe here, so good defense from ShoWTimE. We're not quite done yet as this Reaper comes back through. Now this few Adepts is going to come back across. Now the other Reaper shows up. The Oracle might just activate to clean this one out. Just for the nice, quick, easy cleanup and just being done with it. So Oracle comes in, just going to knock down that Reaper. Viking and the Cyclone, all producing the Cyclone of GuMiho already running out of the natural. And moving onto the map as a couple of Adepts get here. And the Cyclone going to take a bit of a ping of damage. Sorry guys, I'm being requested to love Ellie for a moment. She said she hasn't had strokes for about 2 seconds, so it was necessary, else she might not be able to sleep tonight, I think, was the exact words. Again, thank you Mr. Toad86 for the 31-month resub on the Prime. We are coming with Adepts and Oracles across the map. We have the Cyclones, which should keep you fairly safe here unless they got dove on and killed off super quickly. That should be kind of fine. The Adepts are going to go. Whoa, the Cyclones both lock onto Adepts. Okay, now you can actually kill the Cyclones with the Oracles. We lose 1. Okay, another Cyclone shows up. That's actually a pretty big deal. Without that, we might have been in a bit more trouble, but yeah. This is kind of just going to be an early trade out of units, but you know what? I like it a lot more for GuMiho because his units are kind of designed to defend against what ShoWTimE lost. ShoWTimE can use Oracles all game long. Cyclones generally have a shelf life where, once they're kind of past that, they're not really very useful anymore. And so, yeah, to trade out the Cyclones for the Oracles, essentially, I take that every day. Although it was actually only one of the Oracles, but I guess the point still kind of stands, right? I don't mind even losing 2 Cyclones to get rid of an Oracle because I think in general the Cyclones have still done their job and they progress into the next stage of the game. And now one of the Oracles is not, so you don't have all that Revelation energy and scouting and everything that gets provided in a scenario like that. Finish picking off the Cyclone, Banshee, Tank, Cloak, all coming up. The Robo Bay will go down on the back of the Natural. And 2 more Engineering Bays will also start up on the Natural too, so again, all of that up and rolling. She gets around. This Oracle still able to escape away. Actually got out of that Viking hunt. We have a few Phoenix. Obviously, they can lift up some tanks and stuff if we do want to attack in with, but I don't imagine there's anything we want to attack in with here. Not really enough stuff around. Oracle trying to come in again. Just drops a Revelation. Not really much to talk about on that one. Just drop a Revelation back away. The Banshee's trying to slip around, obviously. If they do get across the map and the Phoenix and the Oracles are in the wrong position, it's going to be really scary. The fact that the first Banshee's going to show up and then Banshee 2, there's just no batteries anywhere, so there's going to be a good amount of probes dead. We'll see how ShoWTimE responds, but this is easily like 10 plus workers, and yeah, I mean, even the Oracle coming home doesn't have the energy. Oh, it did just have the energy to Revelate. It actually had more than 10 energy more than needed, but even still has... Oh, there's 1 battery just there. Okay, well, that actually saves it being 10 plus workers, and it's only 9 instead, but if there was not a battery there, it's either like 10, 11, 12. Like I say, that Oracle just about having enough energy too. If that had a little bit less, we would have been even floundering around for a bit longer on the first Banshee. As this one darted back around, is going to come back onto the third to get number 10 and number 11 probes. I told you guys it was going to be 10 plus workers. I told you all! Don't doubt my ability to predict the math. Yeah. It's actually 13 probes in total, so very effective. Couple of Banshees. Plus, the Phoenix and the Oracle came home, so they're not checking in on everything that GuMiho is doing for a handful of moments. Takes that map control out of ShoWTimE's hands for just a few more. I mean, it's not a big deal, because Dragon Scale is a pretty small map anyway, so ShoWTimE just bounces right back across to pick up info again. As an orbital goes down, and GuMiho gets that third base mining. 60 SCVs to now 64 probes, a couple extra just built. But this is really good for GuMiho, knocking ShoWTimE down on that income. You can see how much it affected ShoWTimE having to A pull the probes, being put onto an equal work account against now triple Mule. Obviously, ShoWTimE's only really bounced back up because GuMiho was transferring SCVs onto his third. Now that that's mining, GuMiho should have a good income advantage. And that is the power of the Mules and the SCVs. And just why you need to be quite far ahead as Protoss and workers. Couple of SCVs already going down. The Phoenix taking some shots. A couple of Vikings come through, chasing the Phoenix down over that right-hand side. Just having the Oracle as well actually going to be a target there, and we will get rid of that. We actually landed that Viking. I don't think that was right, no. Because I actually feel like that Viking could have killed off the low HP Phoenix. I don't think we needed to land the Vikings. I mean, it didn't even save them, it just forced them to be lifted, but I think he could have killed this Phoenix, and then if there's only one Phoenix left, or two Phoenix left, it's way more difficult for them to be lift. I actually think that was a bad call from GuMiho, but it's one of those very minor things that probably isn't going to have a major impact all said and done, so yeah, I guess we don't really worry about it too much, or we shouldn't worry about it too much. Good time with the solid transition behind all of this. The Colossi count has been producing, building up, getting to a better point as we have a couple of disruptors popping out of these robo facilities as well. Let's just get all of that up as our Phoenix make their way up the right-hand side, back to the 12 o'clock for the moment. Ghost Academy will be finishing from GuMiho, get that completed. As the Ghost Academy is done, we have got two armies of the Terran already on the map as well, so looking to pressure on two different fronts here. So it's Colossi Stalkers moving around one side. A couple of Widow Mines will be burrowing up on the ramp. Mines burrow, Bio pushes in. We do have the rest of the army on the left trying to come through as well. I'm glad this Game 2 and this Game 3 have delivered, because Game 1 was obviously just very quick, and, ShoWTimE died very, easily, honestly, and I really expected more of this series, and this Game 2 and Game 3 have absolutely begun to give that, which is very cool to see. So very excited about it, as we do see our Bioforce. And coming out over to the right, let's see what's going on. Blink coming up, Dark Shrine coming in, a couple extra gateways are producing. Up to the top, Bio will stim in, and a cannon already going to be in some immediate trouble there. GuMiho still has the army on the left side as well, by the way, so we'll be looking to use that in a few moments. There's a couple of Zealots on the other side of the map. Here comes this army on the left, but ShoWTimE's actually moving in to deal with it, so good defense, as there always pretty much is from ShoWTimE, right? His defense is always pretty decent, and this was absolutely no different, so a job well done on that regard. Shadow Stride coming up on that Dark Shrine, getting the 2-2 upgrades. Trailing for ShoWTimE as 2-2 is well done for GuMiho, already starting up his own 3-3, so that's a big part of his advantage, and why he would love to actually just get a few trades on these Bioforces that are moving around, because especially if he can make scrappy trades, the upgrades are only going to help him in those kind of scrappier trades. That's a Widow Mine too. Not kill a disruptor, but it brings it low, just more easily targetable later, right? It's a factor. If that's more easily targetable, it's more likely to drop down dead instead of connecting. So it's a pretty sizable Widow Mine, in all honesty. And ShoWTimE's defense just really good across the board, putting himself in a very good position WardiTV here grabs one Zealot. The rest of this army of GuMiho pulling back over the right side. ShoWTimE actually bringing his pretty chunky part of his army down in the bottom left. And his planetary is completely undefended. Okay, base trade time. Well, ShoWTimE actually has some units left over here, and I don't know if GuMiho... Okay, it's over here that he's going to be exposed, so GuMiho does find the opening. ShoWTimE's going to recall to this base. That's always risky, because the Terran army's already targeted down. It's going to die. Disruptor shots are going to be big. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Something about being big. They are going to be big. And they hit, honestly, pretty much everything. And that's expensive for GuMiho. He rebuilds quickly, and he did kill a base out of it. Was it worth it, though? Another disruptor shot firing straight through, and a couple more. Some of these are going to connect, and I'd say that GuMiho is kind of just eating disruptors for breakfast, lunch, and dinner at the moment. Although, it's the middle of the night for GuMiho, maybe you shouldn't be having a midnight snack. This is what happens when you have a midnight snack, guys. You open the fridge, and it's like, ah, disruptor shot in the face. Alright, ShoWTimE pushes GuMiho back. GuMiho is still sustaining at 200 supplies, so it's not really the supply numbers that are the problem for GuMiho here. In fact, he's rather comfortable when it comes to supply numbers. There's our bio firing and a Zealot already being picked up. He really made a meal of that. Good one. Offside will knock down the sensor tower as well. It's just going to take this out. Disruptors, bang, bang, and the missile turrets are gone. Away they go as our Bio Force now coming in. Cannon and the battery on the left side going to go after this Nexus. Nexus is going to get picked away at, and it will go down, so Nexus falls. We continue through. Disruptors taking damage. Stalkers blinking forward. The Immortal goes down. Medevac after Medevac just continuing to drop. Over here, actually going to get pushed back. DTs, Zealots will continue to come through. The Ghost being picked away as well. It actually drops an EMP onto the DTs, so the DTs taking some damage. The Marines will be going mostly down. Now we jump up in towards the main base as well. It's just going to jump back up over there. Another disruptor shot, bang, for a whole chunk of SCVs. And it's turning into a good bit of chaos here. As our Stalker going to go pinging through this Medevac, and the Medevac just about going to get out alive. Dropped a couple Marines off. Didn't want to take them home. It's too heavy. We would never have made it. We're running out of fuel. Marines like, bro, Medevacs don't run on fuel. They're powered by minerals and gas. We already, made you out of it. It's like, awkward. Found on the left side is dead as well. So that vision over here just in general broken down as GuMiho backs away down the south. Stalkers, Colossi, and Disruptors all come pushing through, and just seeing the couple disruptor shots firing up a storm, but not landing anywhere, so nothing too much on that. Stalker Colossus back up the left. Counterattack of Zealots and DTs coming in. Meanwhile, Widowmine drop gets almost an entire mineral line. ShoWTimE adds a cannon there as a second thought. Obviously, this is equal amount of workers, and ShoWTimE loses a good amount of Zealot DT in amongst that. That is quite expensive as we come down the left, knocking down a missile turret. A bit of bio coming through, another disruptor shot coming in as well. Obviously, ShoWTimE is being counterattacked. GuMiho with a massive army across the map. These two just don't want to run headfirst into each other. They're just continuing to kind of throw themselves at each other for the moment. We're just going to go after this planetary. Just going to jump up over here. Bioforce coming through. A lot of these probies going down. Nexus falling, and just seeing this army of ShoWTimE retreating away. And he just doesn't have the numbers to really base trade. He's got 3 Colossi and Disruptors. They will not really break through this planetary fortress very easily. Pulls back over the left-hand side, ready to jump on the third. Just going to take that down instantly. Zealots and Stalkers jumping onto this orbital command. Taking this out. Colossi still back onto the planetary fortress as well. And we are having a force of GuMiho. Just still, I think, overwhelming. Don't think ShoWTimE has enough to clean this up unless we make some serious micro errors against Disruptors. And, well, the Disruptors are still down over here. So for now, this army's okay. It's going to at the very least kill the natural. Obviously, pushing into the main might at some point be hard, but GuMiho only has 11 SCVs left against the currently standing army supply. That is the big deal breaker here. The supply comes through, Dark Shrine goes down, the pylon, the Robobay, the assimilator, everything being killed. On the bottom, an EMP or two going off in the army of ShoWTimE. Just taking some damage again. These few Colossi will knock down a missile turret. But that's really about as exciting as it gets for ShoWTimE's army. Meanwhile, GuMiho is into the main base of ShoWTimE. There's a Nexus building over here. GuMiho is actually probably going to find that, it seems. He's running across the map. ShoWTimE doesn't have money to just play endlessly at this point either. Yep, this Nexus goes down. ShoWTimE doesn't have money to build another Nexus even because he didn't cancel that when it was killed. And his last few probes are going down. He's going to tap GG's. He can't win the base trade. And GuMiho, 2-1 over ShoWTimE, wins out